Hello, my name is Lacey, and I am here to discuss the four management function and how it is enrolled in the movie Pursuit of Happiness. And the movie Pursuit of Happiness is about a man named Chris Gardner who was homeless and that became a multimillionaire, and how it affected the audience, such as myself. At first in the movie, it was more of his self-doubt, which like a lot of us do, we self-doubt ourselves. And when you self-doubt, you attract more doubt. And that's when you start overthinking things. And when things are like moving and progressing faster in life, such as like technology and everything, and you invested in something big and now you have to sell that, such as the machine he had to sell to provide for his family. And if he didn't sell the machine, he didn't get no money. So he was struggling with selling the machine, so he wasn't bringing in no money, and they was late on everything. And that was something that driven him to self-doubt himself, that he was like, am I gonna like be able to provide, or am I gonna be happy and stuff? But what made him rise above that was his consistency and determination of wanting better in life and wanting the happiness and choosing happiness. And with that being said, like a lot of us get stuck in the loophole of just like we just working a job with just one income instead of doing something that makes us happy. And factors and motivators that was like helping him through his success, Gardner's success, was one of them was his son. His son was like a main role that played into his life. When he lost his love, Linda, when she moved to New York because she was tired of working doubles and she didn't see no results. She just saw failure, and he knew he wasn't a failure, and he didn't want to be taught that way. And when she left, it broke his heart, but he wanted his son to stay because he needed that love, and he needed that person to believe in him, someone that saw that he is great, and his son gave him that. Even though like his son, like, they had nights where he got evicted from one place and moved into a motel, got evicted from there and slept in the bathroom. So like he created a vision for his son when he had to sleep in the bathroom. So like he was all about imagery and creating visions for himself. So that what made him rise above and become a multimillionaire. And that another motivator was his consistency of going to a job. And he ran into a person, Jay, that was in a business that he wanted to be in as well, and he was trying to get to know Jay. And that was a motivator as well, because Jay was like giving a good ear to the group and committee in the business office. And the factors that like kind of enrolled in there, such as him having to sleep in homeless shelters, he eventually kept selling the machines, got money for the machines, and he was determined to like get into that position that was only for 6 months, and there was 20 people that signed up and only one got the job. So he was determined, and he had his mind made up that he was the one for that job. And I want to say another motivator was he listened to motivator speakers. So you are what you listen to. So he wanted to be better in life. He wanted to provide. He wanted more in life, and he wanted the happiness. So he went and got the happiness, but he kept listening to it. You have to feed yourself knowledge, and you have to know yourself, and you have to find yourself. Like, you have to write down notes, because that's what he was doing as well. And be careful in having crazy days, or days where like you trust too much, or you're trying to do too much things at one time and it doesn't plan out as you wanted to, such as when he left the machine with a hippie. She took off and got away, but he eventually caught up with her. And you don't want to do things like that. Like, you don't want to be trying to juggle too many things at one time. And if anything that I learned about one of the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling of Gardner's, and how it could help me and inspire me, is that he's self-driven. his determination, and his way of finding new opportunities and looking for new opportunities and wanting new opportunities, and also taking risks. He took risks, and a lot of people are afraid to take risks because like they don't want to lose, and sometimes you have to fail at things to become successful. You have to fail, and that's what I really learned. But with the planning, such as himself, he was a time person. Even though like he did mess up, like he did miss a meeting with a broker, but he also got back in touch with him with a baseball game. Like he trying to meet up with him, even though he didn't get that broker. That broker didn't break him. He moved on to the next one. You got to take a couple no's to get that right. Yes, and that's what the planning was. He planned it. He did it. He's a very time person. He know when to meet up with somebody. He know when to run into them, and he know how to find someone. And the organizing, he was organized. He had everything in a box, and he took notes, and he had his books. But like, money situation and all that, that's what was really more of hurting him. Leading, he led his son, but he was just leading his son to become a better man. And with the controlling, the only thing he was allowed to control was like his actions. But with the business side of it, it was more of like how they planned it. As you get 6 months to prove it. You're in the internship. 20 of you got selected. You're in the internship for 6 months. The more they get the most sales and pass the test, get whoever is the best candidate get the job. And how they did it, they showed them like how they work. They walked them through how they work every day in life. Like they had like not a hands-on experience as well. And it was like they like fed them to the woods. Here you go, see what you can do. Let me see what you can do without me like standing by your side. Hey, this is how you do this and that. But they gave him a class in wishes. And like I said, with Gardner, he was very he went through his notes. He took notes, so he was well prepared for things. And he also had his foot in the door because he knew Jay, so he was consistent of learning new people and new faces and knowing them. And with their organizing and the offense, it was more of like papers flying everywhere and stuff, but it was like people know that section, even though it was messy, but they knew that section. And the leading was more of like you have to work hard. You have to go through that, get brokers in the bed, and the more you know people, the more you can network and branch out. And with the controlling aspect was just more of like how they how they ran things in the days, and like this is when you get paid, this is how much you get paid, and how it kind of inspired me to do what I want to do, because I don't want to be working for nobody. I want to make my own income how I want to make my own income. And what I learned about how the business can bounce back when they are forced to change, such as, like I said, the time is growing faster, and time is moving faster. Well, not moving faster, but time and technology and everything is growing faster, because like we're just becoming more advanced. So when businesses don't want to take that risk and put their money into it, or have someone look through, like keep up with their savings and bank accounts and all that, they're afraid to, so they say no, and then they usually take the backfire, because like they might hit bankrupt or might take a major loss or something, and they didn't have nobody to take the money or anything in that situation. But it kind of forced them to change, because like I said, somebody have to keep up with their money and their finances and how they run things. And the business that Gardner was working for did that, but it was stockbrokers. They moved their money through stocks. And some of the ethical and moral issues that I paid attention to was how like I understood how if you like the best worker there, sometimes they will give you more work just because you are the best worker. So, and you do it because it's going to make you a better person, even though it make you feel unappreciative. And that does happen in today's society, because that's why a lot of people don't want to work, because they don't want to feel unappreciative. And that will wrap it up for my endless pursuit of happiness. Thank you for your time.